Done. Worth it. I mean, what's the point of being a dapper baron if you can't use your points frivolously, I guess. Fair play. You did well there. Right, have we finished replacing that? No, we've still got a bit of steel to collect yet. How are our steel stocks doing? They're sort of okay and coming along. Alright. Well, how about we go for a couple more trucks then? At least a few more. Let's take another 6. That'll bring us up to 100 trucks. They have tweaked the use of fuel for when trucks, excavators, what have you, are idle. They now consume significantly less fuel in an idle state, which is really good. Will I keep the harvester around once it's harvesting? That was never part of the deal. You just asked me to name it. I never said I'd keep it. At least over here we can get this sorted out. I wish... Oh, man. Satisfactory has spoiled me. I want to zoop, and yet I cannot zoop. The world is pain. Zero zoopage. Such a tragedy. Actually, you know what? No. We want to pull this back even further if we could. Well. You know what? No, that is actually in the right place. Oddly enough. That is actually in the right place. Never mind then. Ooh. I'm pleased with this. I'm so ready for it to all just be a massive ball ache to fix all of this. But when it's not, I'm kind of caught off guard. But over here, we need to get rid of these. I need to replan how we're digging. So, basically, if I want to dig down... So, for example, here I want to dig down. I now need to push this wall further in. It's very frustrating, but it is what it is. And because it was right on the edge there, it's going to be a massive pain. But something like this would work. I'm simply going to try and recover to whatever new norm is. Or the new norm is, I should say. Yeah, that was incredibly ugly. I do agree. Right. I want all of these gone. And all of these gone. Ah. Balls! Game. Do what I want, not what I tell you to do. Damn it. Actually, I want to connect up there, and I kind of do, in fact, want to do that. Yeah. Yeah, I just need to wait for that to go through. Yeah. We'll draw these ones back, because this one is going to have a three-way corner. There. This will continue on out. Did I miscount that so... I did miscount it massively, yeah. There we are. Sorted. I am just going to Unity build as much of this as I can. As quickly as I can. Oh dear. You may have just got yourself stuck. Never mind. You are now full. And down here. Okay, so that part sorted-ish. It's not ideal, but it does kind of work. Now, the issue lies in running the ramp down, because I'm not going to be able to run the ramp down properly on that side. It's kind of is an irritation. Whereas previously I could run the ramp because I could demolish right up to the edge. I'm not going to be able to do that here anymore. But at the very least, this means that I can dig right up to this wall. At the very least. I am so close to being able to do it there. It is actually offensive how almost good that was. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it needs to be right here. Ah, well. It's fine. I've got enough concrete that I should be able to make all of this happen. Again, though, zooping would be amazing right now. But I'm not going to use up all my Unity on this. I'm just going to allow those to be built normally for now. Karen, no available place to dump products. Oh, very well. Okay. So that area being dumped. Karen should be able to dump these products there now. You don't have any particular setups for them, so yeah, it's all corrected now. Three-way corner, you truly spoil your colony, Stefan. I know, it's a flaw. I'm aware of it. I just can't help being kind to them, you know. Actually, we can probably make this nicer. Go. Now, where does that one line up to? Yeah, I just need to drive that one back again. So 2, and then we're good. Very least. Oh, Leafy Poo's got no fuel. Travesty, where's the fuel truck? Come on, you tardy scallywag. Problem is, the fuel truck is like, oh, It's about time Leafy Poo's gonna need some fuel. I better set off. And then it's got such a long trip to make. How much fuel does it even have by the time it gets down here? Probably not that much. Oh well. Leafy Poo's got a full fuel tank. That's the main thing. Will it let you put 2 retaining walls of different depths touch each other? Yes. Yes, it will. In other words, maybe giving you a drop of 10... Oh, no. It won't allow you to do 10 levels. It'll never allow that. It's always 5 levels at max. Sadly. Sorry, I kind of answered the question being asked before I knew what the question was, like a pro that I am. 1, 2, 1, 2. You know what? I need the retaining wall over there. And if I use Unity build, I could make this happen. We might not be in as bad a position as I thought we were, chat. I mean, it's still not great. But it's certainly not as bad as it could be. To see, this one needs to be there, so it's just a tiny bit back. That one is unfortunate because there's no easy way of me fixing that one, sadly, not without causing a bit of an undermining issue. Might be able to get it to work out if I'm very fast with my use of Unity building. I don't know. You know, I still really appreciate getting the iron and the copper ore colors right. Or you mean that iron is a rusty red and copper is more of the... what is... Like, this is the color of oxidized copper, isn't it? Malachite green. Thank you so much. I kept going for malachite, but I kept coming up with Malachi. I was like, no, that's wrong. That's the name of someone in chat. Because peeps with like copper talks and Brita, they look amazing. Apparently, it's really good for like arthritis sufferers as well and stuff like that. But they leave greenish stains on the skin. Atomic Aliens, thank you very much for continuing your gift sub from Revenge. Diolch yn fawr iawn. Sweet Orange Bunny, Avak, if you want Leafy Poo to get fuel quicker, you could always spaghetti a pie. I know I could, but Leafy Poo doesn't deserve it yet. They haven't earned that right. The other thing I was thinking about doing was just bringing down a oil storage silo. Fuel storage silo, rather, and just having a tier 1 refueling stop down here. Right, so this is in place. What other changes do we need to make? Well, all of this, actually, is going to be... Oh, wait. Oh, craptastic. No. Of course, this is literally built along the seam, so it's only going to be one behind it, not two. I am a dumb. Sod it. We're doing a live chat. Go, go, go! Unity build. Ciao. Okay. This is going to cause a bit of a problem as soon as they're all done. Right. Stop it there. Now, If I'm very fast, we might be okay. Look how deformed it already is. We may actually bury some of my excavators in this. So we can now lay this down so I can see where it's all going to be. While I'm doing this, chat, which isn't the most thrilling thing to watch, I do appreciate that. What kind of shows have you all been watching lately? I'm always on the market for new recommendations. Mostly because I binge watch anything. Anything that I deem worthy of my time to watch, I will binge. Does not matter how long, if I decided tomorrow, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give One Piece a try. I would maybe see you in about 7 months, maybe. It would be a while, because I'd watch everything. I would not stop until I am done. So I have to be very careful with what series I'm like, yeah, I'll give this a shot. Because if it ends up being worthy, if it passes the test, then that's it. Until I finished it, it now owns my soul. It's how it be. This is why I have briefly checked out One Piece as very much a taster. Now, thankfully, One Piece suffered from the same problem that Naruto suffered from, in that I watched it not as a kid, you know, literally following along it with morning cartoons. I watched it as an adult, and so, you know, the beginning of Naruto was like, like every time the plot centered around him farting or something, it was like, why? Look, I was brought up on Monty Python. I can appreciate a good poop joke. But Naruto ain't that. I'm just going to come out and say it. But then, you know, I stuck it out. Got to Shippuden, and I was like, actually, okay, this is going somewhere. Had a little bit of a teary moment with Jiraiya's last episode, and it was like, okay, yeah, no, you've got me. I'm here for the long haul now, I guess. It's not spoilers. I didn't say why it was the last episode. Yeah, to be fair, Naruto's target audience were pretty solidly 10-ish-year-old boys when it started. Yeah, no, exactly. Exactly. The only reason I stuck it through, and I can completely appreciate it. Now, I seem to remember, what was it? Sungwon, one of his skits, where he's like, when you're trying to introduce your favorite anime to one of your friends, and you're like, just watch this, it's really good, it's so amazing, and then, like, the first episode is this guy basically falling over himself, scared and pooping himself out of fear, and you're like, just bear with it, it gets really good soon, I promise, just work through the pain, please. You'll understand why this is so cool. Just, if you can just keep watching just for a few episodes, please. And it's so true. It is so true. But with Naruto, it's like, I'm gonna be honest, if my friend had warned me about like the 90 episodes of filler that I had in my, you know, not too distant future, because again, binge watcher here, I probably would not have. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's like, yeah, 90 episodes of filler? No. I choose life. we're actually managing to make some decent progress now. I'm surprised we've been able to do this as quickly and as painlessly as we have. I'm very thankful for that. Punk. There. But yeah, I like things like Naruto. They're a bit of brain junk food sometimes. Because you can't only binge on things like The Expanse, otherwise your brain will pop. I genuinely believe that. Take it from me, someone who discovered the Expanse much later as well. Lady Shelob at one point, it was like, hey, Alec, you should check out this cool show. I think it was on Netflix at the time. It was like, it's The Expanse. It's really cool. And I just didn't have time because I was doing YouTube all hours that I was conscious for. But then some random evening, I was like, you know what? I'm so far ahead, and I'm just a bit weary. I'm just going to sit down in front of the television. Super rare for me. And I was flicking through Netflix. I was looking for films, but I couldn't find anything that I hadn't already seen and also wanted to see. And so then I started looking at series, and The Expanse caught my eye. I was like, okay, I'll check this out. I'd forgotten that I'd been recommended it by Lady Shelob. And so I started watching it. And this was like, I don't know, 8, 7 p.m. So 12 midday the next day, Lady Shelob came downstairs and found me finishing off that season. I was like, I had the curtains drawn. I was unaware of the fact the sun had risen. The fact that Shelob had gotten up and come downstairs, I'd go, oh, hi. Yeah, so maybe I got a little sucked in. Yeah, I went full TV goblin mode. 100%. Oh, that is in the wrong place. Womp. Oh, let's get that in the right place. There we are. I never finished Samurai Champloo either. I always wanted to. Oh. Okay. Alright. Yeah, maybe I've been a little bit too Unity happy. I will confess that that's a me problem. That's all a me problem. Oops. I just didn't finish it. Not because I didn't like it. Probably just time got in the way. But it didn't quite have the same... Like, it didn't grab me, so I didn't binge it. It's not always a sign that something is bad. Just that it isn't as Moorish as it would need to be to convince me to basically ignore everything else in my life for a few days. There we go. All right. Well, this is getting somewhat better. That was actually a better fix than I was expecting, if I'm honest. This is still going to be a pain in the ass, but there's only so much I can do about that one. Oh, Love, Death, and Robots. Absolutely amazing. I have been hooked on that since the first season came out and just blew me away. I was not prepared for how good that was. To put it into perspective, like, I would say that that's up there with this had... I had no warning that this was going to be amazing, in the same way that Arcane was like that. Arcane was a much more egregious example of it. Like, to the point where I'm like, it doesn't have a right to be as good as this. Arcane, this is illegal that you're this good. But Love, Death, and Robots caught me off guard. like really heavily off guard by how much I enjoyed it. I don't think it's love, sex, and robots. I'm fairly certain it's love, death, and robots. But you know what? That's probably accurate for like 50% of the movie shorts at least. So we'll go with it. I know what you mean at least. Anything based on League of Legends has no right to be that fantastically well written and animated. That's the thing, though. It wasn't even just the animation, like you say. It's the writing. The writing had me absolutely hooked. It was so amazingly done. So amazingly done. They had such fantastically written characters. I mean, obviously they're from the games, but they fleshed them out so well. Now back. From Season 1 was a nice watch. From. You'll have to remind me of the plot in that one, just a little bit to refresh my memory, because the name isn't bringing anything back to me. Oh wait, no, that wasn't the one about the cyborg and the blue color, unless that was that one. Which one was From? Oh, Cursed Town, the traps and evil things come out at night. Cursed Town, the traps and evil things come out. I mean, there was the one with the farms. Is that the one? Like the farmers and the mechs, I remember. That one seems to have slipped out of my memory if you're not talking about the farmer one. Though probably one of my favorite ones from the original Love, Death, and Robots was, and I'm so sorry that I forget the name of it, but like I mentioned, the one with the artist who had that very specific color of blue, I absolutely adored that one. And also the one with the more of the sci-fi setting when they went through the warp gate and the jump kind of... Zima Blue, thank you very much, Gregorian. Sorry, Grogrin. Gregorian, my lord. Just inventing letters in your name. The other one was the one with like the sci-fi jump gate and the jump kind of went awry. Absolutely loved that one. I loved just the idea of it. I would say that fell into the kind of the genre of tragic horror. Oh, it's another show, not Love, D and Robots. Right. Sorry. I get you now. That's probably why I didn't recognize it. So, from those of you who have watched the most recent Love, Death, Robots, what was your favourite short in that? I need to let the Unity recover a bit. Having to repair all of this was kind of costly, honest. Sadly. How's the ship doing? Still waiting on the steel. Kind of surprised that we're still waiting on steel. We've got steel there. Kind of bizarre. The one where the old woman was fighting off her household robots. I really like the art style in that one, actually. That one was quite striking just because of the style of the animation. But yeah, that was hilariously funny. Just the ever mounting DRM. It's like, oh, you've accidentally added yourself to the kill list for all of our brand of household appliances. Don't worry, for premium members, you can remove yourself. It's like, oh my god. Oh, it was fantastic. So hilarious. A grim taste of the future there, chat. Amazon future, yes, pretty much. Congregates. I know I'm a lurker, but Sony's revenge hit a personal chord with me on a unique kind of revenge I felt. Viscerally and felt vindicated after. Oh, that's an interesting take on that. Amazon just bought Roomba, so give it 5 years. Well, I mean, take care, Xenovoid. There were a couple of really, really good ones in the most recent Love, Death Robots. A couple of really fun ones as well. And I am tragically bad with the names of them. I apologize. The really fun one, though, I thought was the little zombie flick. The tiny meeple scale zombie flick. That was hilarious. That was just a laugh from beginning to end. It was kind of a bit of a thought-provoking one. The one with the well, they seemed like knights that stopped at that lake, and I don't want to spoil too much of the plot for anyone who's looking at it. So I'm talking in very vague terms, but I don't know, like the river spirit that lived in the lake, the siren one. Yeah. No, that was amazing. I really, really enjoyed that one. Were there any others that... The one with the hive, that was pretty fantastic. I loved the idea of that one. And I love the feel that one elicited. The idea that just because something is non-reactive and seems on the surface simple, can sometimes belie that this is an incredibly complex system. It's kind of arrogant to assume that we're kind of on top in that regard. Hey Welch, how you doing, mate? Welcome, Raiders. The hidden hippos have emerged. Oh my god, that's terrifying. Though we were just talking about a siren. I think we're okay. As long as the hippos emerge in the siren's pond, we're probably alright. We'll just let those two forces battle it out between themselves. We are in the process of trying to sort out something which has kind of snuck up on us as a result of game updates, causing a few systems that were previously working fine to not be working fine anymore. Much sad. We can at least remove all of this. And in fact, we're probably going to need to remove all of this as well. All the way back down here at least. And then decide where we're going to branch this off to. Though I'm still uncertain how we're going to do this ramp, realistically. We obviously need this to be there, but I guess the ramp's always going to be kind of weirdly shaped on this side. Love, Death Robots is on my watch list. I think you'll really enjoy it, Bilal. There were some of the shorts that I felt had a striking similarity to some really old movies that I've enjoyed, and I'm fairly certain that you've watched as well. And because we've got relatively similar taste in old movies, I think. So I would be kind of surprised if you didn't enjoy it. Oh, we're dumping off. Wow, we're dumping off a lot of concrete over here. Oh my lord. Well, they've done all that work, which is great. So, oh man. Right, this needs to move as well then. But I'm going to give it a little bit more room now, I think. Let's give it at least 2 spaces to occupy. I think that's going to be an important one. But yeah, you've arrived, Raiders, in the middle of me having to reorganize a fairly large part of the factory because a recent patch broke the way that it worked. Tragically, after it took me an age to decide on a way of working with it previously as well. So it was like doubly sour. So we've just been kind of chatting. Presently, the topic is shows that people have been watching recently. We were kind of discussing Love, Death, Robots, if you're familiar. Game updates. This is why I don't update the bot, because it breaks stuff. Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, it's not so much that it broke it, but basically they changed the rules on how you could interact with barriers. Previously, the best way of placing down the retaining walls was to have it overlap a tile, the seam. So between these two, you'd have the retaining wall on these 2 squares, so that an excavator could dig right up to the wall, but not through the wall and affect this tile over here. But now they've made it so, as you can see here, I can't place the designation at all. So now you need the retaining walls to exist on the opposite, just over the edge of the tile for maximum effect, because then you can't add a dig designation or place a building on a dig designated tile. So you have to keep them completely separate. So I'm having to redesign, reposition a lot of my retaining walls, which has been a bit of a potch because in many cases they were already retaining walls. So suddenly they weren't anymore, which was an issue. Bongo Fluffernutter, thank you very much for the prime. I love thunderstorms too. I do like it when they don't hit a building nearby such that it damages the wiring in my house, or like deafens a modem or something like that at work. That was always a pain in the ass. It's a lot easier to avoid if it's like a cabled modem, but when it's like, you know, running through the old infrastructure in like inner city, so much harder to replace, like old copper phone wiring and stuff like that, and a lightning strike hits one of the buildings that isn't properly grounded, and all of a sudden like 5 or 6 businesses worth of modems die. It's like, well, this is a problem. More of a problem if you're like the conditions of your employment is that you're responsible for fixing it. Then it's a really big problem. It's an especially egregious problem then. Bloody lightning! Right. Ultimately, we're trying to get together all of the necessary materials needed to build this. It's a slow, arduous process. And when we do rebuild it, there's a very good, strong possibility we're going to be rebuilding it up here, because it makes a lot of sense, especially if we are going to go through all of the effort of running this all the way down. I would like to do that if we can make that happen. I mean, we've got the steel. It is literally just time. We're just waiting for them to take care of this. How about I increase the import priority to a 4? That may or may not affect steel importing in here. Food-wise, we're doing fantabulously. Energy-wise, also fantabulously, in my opinion. I think that's all pretty solid right now. Oh, you're melting your brain, are you, Bilal? Learning new gaming rules. Right, so... what I would love to do is take all of this down to this layer, if I could. To achieve that, what I'm going to need to do is to line this up properly. Oh, down. It's a little bit finicky sometimes, but... there. And will I be able to do it once more? Is that as low as I can take it, I wonder? Yes. So, with that in position, let's have those get built. And we're going to dig in from this point, I would say. So this is 4 layers. This is as low down as my retaining wall can support. Actually, I need to remove that one as well, just so I can get the retaining wall over there. Right, let's control this. I believe that was... which one was it? Controlling that, was it? Yuri. Right, Yuri, I need you to first work on this little section. Then we're going to dig down and start really shaping this landscape. Ultimately, I would kind of like to bring this area out and have this all resurface and have like a really vibrant town over here.